And we are live. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. My name is Various Smith, and I am the organizer for the Inland Empire WordPress Meetup group, and this is Saturday School. Once again, running a little bit behind this week, and so we're just going to jump right in. Maybe you got the email from me to let you know and to indicate that Saturday School is starting. Had a little bit of technical issues with one of my computers, so I'm on a different computer at this moment. And so you may get a different picture of me. It's a different camera, of course, but we're here and we're ready to go ahead and have our Saturday School. And so I'll start with the announcements as usual. And for the announcements, I'm just going to need to share my screen. All right, so okay, here we have our basic announcements. If you are not a part of the Inland Empire WordPress Meetup group, we do meet every first Tuesday of the month. And we also have these meetups that are virtual, that are online. You can check us out and find us through our YouTube channel. You should just go to YouTube and type in IEWP Meetup Group. Type in IEWP Meetup Group. Then you will find us here as well. You can also just type in Inland Empire WordPress. This is another way you can find us. Either one of those will your results and bring you to our page. Shows our page right here, and it shows that we're broadcasting live right now. Subscribe, and you always will be notified whenever we are broadcasting or whenever we upload anything new to this channel. So this is your opportunity to get some great content. Follow us on Twitter. We are on Twitter as well, IEWP Meetup at Twitter, and you'll get notified of posts from our blog and from the website. And then you'll also get notified, whenever we are going live, and we're live streaming as well. So check us out there. On Facebook, we do have both a page and a Facebook group. So Inland Empire WP Meetup Group is the page here at the top, and Inland Empire WP is the group. If you search for Inland Empire WordPress, you'll find the group. And in this group, we share resources, we converse, we meet online. This is where we go when we're not together physically. I've shared a lot of resources in the past week. Sorry about those notifications. I'm turning them off now. But you can come here and be notified and hear about any announcements we may be having or anything like that. Just another way for us to communicate, and check it out. If you go to meetup.com/Inland Empire WP, then meetup.com is, it's a place where you can RSVP for our events. We've got just a couple of events that you could RSVP to. You could RSVP to the Saturday School, or you can RSVP to the monthly meetup. They're all listed here. And if you look on the right side, then there's the Facebook link to the Facebook group. There's the Twitter link to the Twitter page, and I guess I would say the Twitter account. And there is also the website listed there. And here's the website, inlandempirewp.com. This website, intention of it is to begin to build it out, to allow it to begin to show up more in the search engines, and also to help out with our community of members and give you content, become a content storehouse so that people can be helped by it. This is where we meet at, Riverside, IO. The actual meeting place has moved. It used to be at 3567 Market Street. And just this last week, there was a change. There was a difference, or there was a change in the meeting place. So the new space, it is, let me see if I can find the address here on the website, but coming this actual next meetup, we are going to be at the new location, which is 3499 10th Street. So I will go in and haven't changed that on meetup.com, but I'm going to go in on meetup.com and change the area. It is part of another incubator, a business incubator, the new space. And so next month, let's see, this month is March. Next month, April, because we've already had our meetup for March. In April, we're going to be meeting at the new place in closer to downtown Riverside, closer to, I believe it's closer to the college. You know, I just went with Greg, who is our co-organizer of the meetup, and we had just kind of a brief orientation there. So excited about the new space. So don't if you're watching this broadcast and you plan on coming, be sure not to go to the other space, which was Riverside, IO. All right. So that being said, we are the WordPress meetup group, and we in particular are educating you about the open source platform of web software, WordPress. And so we talk about all things WordPress. Our meetups are normally maybe beginner to intermediate. We do not at this moment go very, I guess sometimes we have our conversations of a little bit more of the deeper aspects, but I just say that it's not for any particular level of person that we hold our meetup. And at this point in time, the Saturday schools are aimed towards beginner level WordPress users, and we hope to get every beginner level WordPress user really caught up on what it means to, you know, actually be able to administer their WordPress website, be able to set it up and things like that. But in the meanwhile, WordPress.org is where we download the software that we use, and what we mainly are discussing this version of the software as opposed to the .com version of the software. Last week we did cover the differences of .com and .org. You can go back and check that out, but we won't be going into that anymore, or not today at least. This class is pretty much a revolving class at this moment. We have been through the curriculum twice. This is our third time through. If you come here to WordPress.org, you're able to download any of the software or download WordPress right here, big blue button. You can go to look at the themes. These are free themes. They're open source. So it's a great way for you to actually really just, build a website, a free website. You're going to have to buy hosting. You have to buy a domain name. There are other things that are involved with setting up a WordPress website, but the software is free. The themes are free. The plugins, most of the plugins are free. good quality plugins for you to be able to add functionality to your website, and we'll be going over what plugins do in the class. We have that as part of the lesson. And you can also get support through the forums. They have forums on this WordPress.org website. It's a great way for you to get help, ask your questions, and get help. And then the documentation is most important, because here there's so much that you can learn about the WordPress software, all the way from the very, the most beginning thing to some of the more advanced aspects of the software. You can learn all of that through WordPress.org. So, and then there's also a blog if you want to be updated about what's going on with the WordPress community. I encourage you to check it out. It's a great opportunity. Just come to this website and look through all of the stuff, because there's a lot of stuff here, and WordPress.org is a great place to be. All right, we also have WordCamp, and WordCamp it really is, if I read the description, WordCamp is a conference that focuses on everything WordPress. They're informal, they're community organized events, and they're put together by WordPress users like me and you. Everyone from casual users to core developers participate, share ideas, and get to know each other. So just to say a little bit about WordCamps, these are the places where you go to really connect with the WordPress community apart from Meetup groups. And if you want to, really connect with people in the community, learn a lot of stuff from people in the community, WordCamps are a great place to go. There is a schedule here that you can look at, and you can click on the more to actually get more details. Right now, looks like 1 day ago on Twitter, this was pushed out, WordCamp Europe 2016. Tickets are now on sale. And the great thing about WordCamp, I love it, is that whenever the tickets go on sale, they sell out really fast. It's kind of like a rock concert, because everybody wants to be there. It's just awesome. And the price of tickets range in the price range of $40 to $50. It's very good for an entire weekend of learning. You get a t-shirt, you get catered meal, such an amazing experience. And I have not regretted going to any WordCamps that I've gone to. Check it out. Another thing I would love for you to check out and recommend to you to check out is WordPress.tv. This is the place that most of the talks from WordCamps get uploaded to. There are other WordPress events that get uploaded to this actual website as well. But on this website, you're going to find a lot of WordPress related stuff. And you can look at videos of WordPress related events and WordCamps. And then you can also, get involved with WordPress.tv, help be a moderator. It's really cool. But if you want to get a feel of what WordCamps are like, go here. And one talk I would recommend you watch is called State of the Word. This is it right here. And this is by Matt Mullenweg. He's,
ladies and gentlemen,
one of the founders, the co-founders. He's one of the co-founders of WordPress, along with Mike Little. But this talk, State of the Word, will give you detailed information about really where the WordPress technology is going, and really a good, helpful overview of technology on the web, because WordPress is really based upon open web standards. So you will get a good understanding of that. The last thing I would like to tell you about is serverpress.com. Desktop Server is software that has been so beneficial to us in our class, and it is really a help for any WordPress developer. You can create locally installed WordPress websites in seconds. It's cross-platform. It's WordPress optimized local LAMP stack. You have the ability to create your websites through Desktop Server, and we're going to be doing some of that today. So with all that said, we're going to go to our next version of slides. All right, so Saturday School. So welcome to Saturday School. This is a quick presentation about Saturday School itself. What is the IEWP Meetup group? We are WordPress enthusiasts from the Inland Empire. We meet once a month on first Tuesday in person to discuss all things WordPress. We meet via live stream virtually every Saturday for Saturday School. Find the archives on YouTube. And we meet in our online Facebook group the rest of the time. Come for help and support. It doesn't matter if you've been working with WordPress platform for a short time, not at all, or many years. We welcome you to our family. Come and learn. So why did I start the Saturday School? Here's the reasoning. This was created to help fill in the gaps of learning that the members of the IEWP Meetup group had, and for those who have gaps of learning who will later find this on YouTube channel. We cover the basics of WordPress theme setup and administration without needing to touch code. We cover the accompanying tools and fundamental principles of understanding how to use WordPress as a content management system. So these are all the things that we cover in Saturday School. And thank you for joining us again. And welcome, Marco. Thank you for joining us today. So what I'm now going to do is share my screen again. All right. So because we're going to need to go through the setup guide. This is where the setup guide is basically, here, I'll have to open this in a new window really quick. Here we go. All right, so the setup guide is basically a guide to get you through some of the basics of setting up a WordPress website. It is actually, it's meant for beginners, but it can go for intermediates as well. And so, like, I'm hoping that my screen does not keep, stopping because it's supposed to be sharing. Okay, there we go. Is it still sharing? Yes, it's still sharing. Okay, so last week we went through the entire discovery process. This week we're going to start at WordPress installation. If you want to go back to the video, you can view what happened last week, and you will be helped. We went through this early video in this presentation. It's a very great video on WordPress.com versus WordPress.org. And looks like my video keeps crapping out here. All right, so we are going to share again. Present to everyone. Okay, here we go. All right, so, and we're just going to keep moving through this guide. So we talked about the necessary and helpful tools. We talked about choosing a WordPress theme. We talked about marketplaces. All of this was last week, and I really do apologize for the video, but I'm just going to continue to go back to share it every time I see it stop sharing. Domains and hosting and email, we also talked about all of those. And the initial setup, I think we did start here. Let's go through and look at all of these, local versus remote. Yep, we talked about that. We talked about theme installation. I think this is where we stopped right here, local versus remote, a comparison diagram. And we're going to pick up from this area today. So if you would like to get caught up, go back to the previous video from last week. It is week 17 last week. This is week 18. And today I'm just going to briefly cover this diagram a little bit, and then I'll pull up the next slide. We're going to continue on in this lesson because, this is all been covered before. So again, there's a huge advantage for you to develop your WordPress website locally. And that would be using the software that I'm going to share with you as well, called Desktop Server. So that software is on your computer. It'll look like this. And so here, I'll just drop it on this other screen. It's not cooperating with me. All right, so I'll leave it there for now. But okay, we'll get back to that in a little bit too. But you can run PHP and MySQL on your computer. You have full control. You can upgrade your site safely. And then with Desktop Server, more uniquely, you can rapidly spin up WordPress websites. You can create website blueprints. I created a website blueprint this weekend, which is, very helpful. Makes it very fast for you to use website blueprints and create new websites. You can run WordPress multi-site. You can do a one-click deploy with premium WordPress. Okay. And that actually is in our, I believe it's like week 14. You can probably go back and see the one-click deploy that I do. With the remote-only development, you need an internet connection at all times. You risk losing data. You risk losing code changes. You must set up backups. You have limited control, and you have upgrade liability. So I highly recommend you not develop only on your remote server, but have a combination of local versus and remote. Local and remote can work together in conjunction in your development process, creating your website. So Desktop Server is what you're going to need for that. So what we'll start talking about today is theme installation. So first we need to install WordPress. I didn't get to installing WordPress last week, so today we're going to do that. And so with that said, I will close down these two tabs because those are repetitive from earlier, and I will open up my Desktop Server websites. This is my install of Desktop Server, and in order to get there, I've installed, just downloaded from the website ServerPress. WordPress.com. I've gone in here, I downloaded this, but I have the premium version of Desktop Server. But once I install Desktop Server on my computer, all I have to do is type in localhost, and I have it as a bookmark, but I just type in localhost into Google Chrome, and it takes me to this list of all of my websites. And I have websites from Saturday schools, previous Saturday schools. I have client websites. I have experimental websites that I am working on as well. It's bleeding edge websites to help me test different pieces of software. I can do a lot with these websites, but today I'm just going to show you how to create a website on Desktop Server from scratch, and this is a local install. So once you have the Desktop Server software installed on your computer, you're going to need to start it. So I'm going to start it because I want you to see this process. And I've just clicked and started. This computer is super fast. I love it. It's my new computer. So once I've started it, it says Desktop Server needs to run as an administrator on your computer in order to create, modify. So Desktop Server needs to create, modify, start, and stop web services. And they ask you, would you like to give or restart Desktop Server with those privileges? And I click next. I made sure that yes is selected. I type in my password, and Desktop Server goes through and restarts itself. Once I have restarted web services for Desktop Server, then I know that I am able to go through the process of creating a new website. So all I need to do is find the right option. There are several options. I can start and restart the web services, which I just did. I can remove, copy, or move an existing website, which I don't want to do. I can create a new development website, and that was the option that was selected. So I click next, and I go through here, and basically this screen tells me enter the website name, okay, that the name of the website that I want to create. So I'm just going to call this Saturday School Season 3, because we're on Season 3. So once I have created that name, that's really going to be my fake domain name, and it has a .dev ending, so it will let me know in the actual location bar of the browser. Once I start it up, once I launch the site, it'll let me know that this is not a .com, this is a development site. So I can choose my blueprint. Now, I have a couple of blueprints in here. The one I created this week was Foundation 6 and SaaS, but there's also a 4.4.2 blueprint, which is the latest version of WordPress that's out currently. 4.5 will be released soon. And then it asks me for the site root. All of my websites are located on Macintosh HD under users. The vsmith is my username. It's also inside of the documents folder, in the websites folder, and then here's my website, Saturday School Season 3.dev. So if this is the correct site root for me, and this is where I want my website installed, and all of my websites are installed underneath websites in documents, and that's the more common place for anybody on a Mac. For a Windows computer, I'm not completely sure where that location is, but you can always click this browse button and you can change the location if you want to. I'm not wanting to change the location, so I'm just going to cancel that. It also gives me the option to turn on multi-site. And if I do turn on multi-site, let me just make sure that I'm still broadcasting. If I do turn on multi-site, then it's going to give me a network. I'm just going to click create. And while it's creating, creates the source folder, the virtual host server names, creates the database and pre-configures WordPress files, and it restarts the web and database services. So I just clicked one button, took me through, click it again, and says configuration is complete. You can now finish your desktop WordPress setup. Please specify a title, username, and password. So I get to go in here, specify a title, username, and password. So I'm just gonna click here. It's gonna take me to the administration screen to finish setup. I choose language of English in the United States. I continue, and it asks me for a site title, and I will say, Saturday School Season 3, and username, I'm just going to say vsmith, and then the password, I am going to make the password something incredibly easy, because I'm not even going to use the password for logging in. I'm going to use one of Desktop Server's plugins called Airplane Mode. So the passwords here, it's tacos. Confirm the use of the weak password. I have to click that. And then they ask me to add an email address. So I do all of that, and I click through, and I can log in. So here's my entire website created that quick with Desktop Server. And I can either log in here, which I'm not going to do that. I could. Maybe I should just do that for the first time, and I'll come back and show you the airplane mode. So vsmith tacos. And I log in here. Unfortunately, I guess I didn't pay close enough attention, and I lost my password. So I'll just choose the, oh, it's not vsmith, it's Myth. I left the S out. Okay, there we go. V. No wonder. No wonder I couldn't log in. I was going to just use the airplane mode. So that's logging in regularly. If I wanted to come back and let's just say I log out. Too bad I can't change my username. I can go in and create a new user though. And I just logged out, but I can do the bypass login, which is very convenient here in desktop server. And I just use the drop down. So I'm now logged in. Saturday School Season 3. Says I have one plugin update, and that's Kismet. And I'm pretty obsessive about my plugin updates, so I usually come in and update that. All right, so we have done a full installation through desktop server on the desktop. We have not installed anything remotely. This is only local version of a WordPress website. So, I mean, I can show you a remote install as well, but because we're developing here first, we're going to only do a local install, and then we'll do a remote install a little bit later. So now I pulled up my desktop server screen, and I really could click this next button and I could close it here because I'm not going to be installing anything else. When I want to find out all of my websites, I come here to localhost. I need to refresh this so that I can see Saturday School Season 3. And I can sort them by name. And I see Saturday School Season 3 right here at the bottom. So this is, I'm now running, desktop server, and it's also running my web server for these WordPress websites. So it's a very, very helpful tool, and I love it because I use it every day. All right, so once we get the theme installed through desktop server, once we get the WordPress setup through desktop server, then we want to go to theme installation. So after installing WordPress, you're going to need to install your theme. A WordPress theme can be installed in 4 ways. We're only going to cover 2 of these methods: the automated theme installer, and the upload method. So there are 2. If chosen from the WordPress repository, you're going to be directly installing these themes from your dashboard. So a premium theme from a marketplace will be downloaded as a zip file. So if you're buying a theme from a marketplace, you can download the theme as a zip file. The zip file will need to be uploaded and installed. I'm not sure I have themes on this computer. I may have themes on this computer that I can upload, but we'll find out. If not, you can always download a theme from the repository and practice and upload, install, but you don't have to. So we're going to now go through quick theme install, and then we'll come back and talk about our workspace. All right, so if I go to the tab that I was on, I'm going to close server, press tab. But if I go to the tab that I was on with Saturday School Season 3, I can actually, what I love to do is keep the administrative session open, the tab open, and then I love to open a new tab with the front end of the website. So I go out here, and this is what my website looks like. One of the important things for me to notice on any of these tabs with the website is that there is a colored bar at the top. This colored bar is actually a feature of desktop server. The bar is normally black, and it doesn't say local development website. So desktop server notifies me of whether or not I'm working locally or remotely. So there's a few indications that I can quickly look at as I'm developing my website to say, oh, this is not the live version. I can look at the URL, which ends with a .dev. If I have the actual plugin for making this bar a different color, I can look at the color of the actual bar. And the plugin's name is I think it is local install color bar, something like that. If I go look at it really quick, it is called local admin color bar. Okay, so that is a plugin for desktop server. And then it also tells me right here at the very top right, next to the username, it tells me that it is a local development website. So I have 3 indications, strong indications, that let me know I'm not on a remote server doing my development. So it's time to install a plugin, install a theme. I have just updated a regular plugin, and we'll get to plugins later, but now in order to install a theme, I go to Appearance, and then I go to Themes, and I click on that. I can see all of the themes that are currently installed here underneath Appearance Themes. Now, for me to add a new theme, all I need to do is go to Add New right here at the top left corner of the website. If I click on Add New, this brings me to the automatic theme installer. This automatic theme installer is set up to communicate with the WordPress.org website and pull in previews of the themes that are located in the automatic theme repository. So there is a communication between 2 websites going on here. And what I see here in this backend, I can even click on these tabs here at the top. These are filters of featured themes, popular themes, the latest themes, favorites. If I have favorites, I can type in my WordPress.org username. I do have a WordPress.org username, but I don't think I have favorited any themes. Let's see. I highly doubt if I favorited any themes at all, but that's my username. I can click Get Favorites. I've favorited tons of plugins, but I've never favorited any of the themes. And so, or I can go here to this feature filter and filter out exactly what the theme I want to be would kind of fall under what category. So we'll go through all of these. So for the featured themes, I see number 1 that the theme that says is already installed here on my desktop website is 2016. It's just like a model of a car. They release a new theme model every year. So there are more featured themes. One for classified ads. Worded looks really clean, like a clean theme. I kind of like that one. But see, these are just all different themes. And so politics is another theme. We are in political season, so it's a featured theme. All right, so there's popular themes as well. Most of the 2013, 2014, most of the 20 themes are going to be popular because they get downloaded with every WordPress install anyway. Most people don't keep them. Some people do. It's okay. Either way. And then here's some of the featured, or some of the popular themes. Some of the latest themes are here. And this one looks pretty cool. It's called Latte. Gives you a little preview. It's one-page parallax theme. So there's just so many themes. So in order for us to install a theme, we just navigate through here. We can even search themes, and we can just say, let's see, oh man, what type of a theme feature, do we want to go through? We could just search for anything, we're gonna say. Actually, what I was thinking is more kind of a feature filter first. You can look at particular colors of themes. You can filter out and say you only want themes that have green in them, that have gray in them, silver, white. And then the layout for the theme, you want it to be fluid and responsive layout included. Features, you can add a bunch of features. So I want themes that include custom header, custom menu, featured image header. Well, man, could this feature sticky post, threaded comments, and then what type of subject? Maybe holiday-based theme, photo blogging, seasonal theme. Let's go seasonal. And I apply all of these filters. It's going to bring up whatever falls under there. I actually probably added too many filters, so let's edit that a little bit. Let's take off seasonal, and I get a few if I remove seasonal. And so any one of these themes I can install, and so when they pop up, I can look at them and I can see the details of them. I can evaluate the ratings, and we do have a session on vetting your themes as well. So what I'm going to do is just look at the details. This one has 10 ratings. It's got like a 4-star. It's called Swell Light. Looks pretty nice, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to install this theme. So all I need to do to install it was to click that install button. And once I have installed the theme, I get the option to live preview or just activate it. So I'm going to click activate. And when I click activate, after activation, I'm able to see here under appearance themes, right here, a notification. Well, first there's a notification here at the top, says the new theme has been activated. There is also another notification saying that I can upgrade. But then here, amidst all of the themes that I currently have downloaded into my website, I can also see that this is the currently active theme with a little bar here. There's a button to take me to the customizer, which we will not go to at this moment. But I want to go and see what it looks like. Now that I've just activated this theme, I want to see what it actually looks like. So this was 2016. Now I just want to refresh the page, and what we're going to see is the new Swell Light theme that has just been installed. And there we have it. It even has its own little background image, which I really like because I love the beach. So it looks very clean, looks almost similar to what it did in the picture, and gives me a good starting point for the theme. And so let's go back to here. So we'll talk about a little bit about WorkSpace Setup. This is my recommendation for the following workspace. When you set up your workspace, then this kind of works well with the workflow that we're doing. You have first 3 tabs. These are intended to be tabs. One with the dashboard, one with the front end of your website, and one with the final version of what you want the website to look like. So whenever you're creating a puzzle, I normally have the box put in front of me when I'm creating a puzzle. I have just minimized or pinned the tab for my local host desktop server. I could close it if I wanted to because it's just easy to navigate back to. But you can see that here I have the administrative area, like I said in the little presentation. I have the front end area of the website, but I don't currently have a final version. If I click on theme details, it may give me a final version. And the way I would find that is I go to the actual theme creator called Organic Themes. And what I'm going to do is right click and open their link in a new tab. And if I go to Organic Themes, I can go to Themes and look for the Swell theme. Here's the Swell theme. And I'm going to click on Details because they usually would have a demo. And here's a demo link. Boom. And if I like the theme, here's the demo of Swell. This is actually what it's supposed to look like, as opposed to currently what it looks like on our desktop. So what I want to do, like, is always keep a picture in front of me of what the theme looks like. And with this in perspective of what the theme looks like on theirs, because this is the final, they build out the theme to where it should look exactly the way it should look. I can actually go through here, and most of the times they have templates, which gives me an opportunity to navigate through the actual templates. Here's a homepage template. So I just clicked on home. This is the homepage template. This gives me a great look for the homepage template. I'm curious about this instant setup. So I'm going to click on this and open it in a new tab, see what they say about instant setup. Ah, okay. So basically, they will set it up for you. Okay. That's pretty interesting. All right, so here we go. I can continue to navigate through these templates. We may just stick, wow, this is a very nice theme. We may just stick with this theme for the remainder of the time. We just saw a coming soon page template, featured content template. Okay, so you got your featured content here, right here, boom. And it's navigating through there. Let's see, they've got a slideshow template. You can go through the slides. What other templates do they have? Full width. We'll go through this more later, but at this time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to close down this homepage Swell themes, but I'm going to leave open my admin area, the front page of my website, and the actual full demo of the Swell theme that we just installed. Because the goal for us is to get this theme looking like it looked when we first purchased it or when we first downloaded it from wherever we downloaded from. Because most people have that trouble of getting it set up and looking the way it looks supposed to look. So, theme recommended plugins. I'll just talk a little bit about this. Professionally developed theme that is created by a knowledgeable developer will sometimes come with these theme recommended plugins. Theme recommended plugins appear as notifications at the top of the dashboard after you install your free or premium theme. The majority of the time, theme recommended plugins are optional. So they're majority of the time optional. And they're actually having the website run in the optimal way. Because these theme recommended plugins are plugins, they will add functionality to your site. If you have a preference for alternative plugins that perform similar functionality, you can install those plugins most times without trouble. Learning WordPress. So this is a big topic. It's a big subject. And I do apologize for my clock in the background that I didn't think about. But this is a big subject, okay? This is something that, you know, you're going to be doing for a long time. But the beginning of learning anything new is to understand the concepts that make up what you're learning. In WordPress, there are semantics that drive the system. And there's a community that drives the technology. Both of these are important to the big picture of what WordPress is as a whole. So the codex and semantics are a big part of it. Content, design, administration, help. And then there's the community. So the codex, I spoke about this in the announcements, but I'm going to open another tab, and this is what the codex looks like. Codex.wordpress.org is where you want to navigate to find out more and dig in deeper to understanding and learning WordPress. And here's a very special tab also. If you go to codex.wordpress.org, WordPress semantics is WordPress _ semantics is the URL to take you to a page that will get you pretty up to speed on all of the lingo behind some of the stuff that's said in the WordPress community. And when you begin to connect with others online and offline, this type of wording and these types of words, the semantics of WordPress will help you greatly to communicate, because it's just all the jargon that we use in order to understand this technology. So go to WordPress_semantics and get yourself acquainted with the semantics. Read through this page. I would recommend that you read through the page and follow the links. Take a little bit of time to learn about the jargon of WordPress. All right, so the general settings. Once you set up your WordPress, one of the first things you do is go to the general settings. And in order to get to general settings, I'll take you through that. But some of the basic settings of the website, such as favicons, user control, time zone, website name, tagline, etc., can be edited here. Taking the time, this is just a tip, taking the time to read through every setting in the settings area will get you familiarized with the settings to help you during setup. The initial read through is similar to skimming through a book. Once you skim through 2 to 3 times, you should be more familiar. So I don't recommend you read every single detail of the general settings, but I do recommend that you read through the general settings, at least skim through them to get a good understanding of where everything's located. So to go to general settings, you look here on the left side of your dashboard, go to settings, general. And here you have the opportunity to change the site title, the tagline, the WordPress URL, the site URL, the email, the membership, who can register on your website, new user role, and importantly, your time zone. I just had a client who was a little bit baffled because their calendar was a day ahead. Well, that's because their time zone was set to UTC +0. And as you can see, I just installed this WordPress site and it's set to UTC +0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to set it to Los Angeles. I just typed in Los Angeles. So there are time zones here on WordPress, like that correspond. They don't really correspond. They correspond with Pacific, Mountain, and things like that. But they use cities. I think it's a little interesting way to do it. But they have Chicago. I think they have Chicago. So if you're in Chicago, well, I thought they had Chicago. Yeah, they have Chicago right here. They have Denver. They have Detroit. But I just use Los Angeles because I'm close to LA. It's the West Coast. I'm sorry. I can set the date format. I can set the time format. Lowercase PM, capital PM. I can set it to 24-hour time. The date, I could change it up here. I like this format though. March 12th, 2016. And since it's UTC, I think it's a little bit in between time zones right now, but I just changed it to Los Angeles. So I'm going to just save these changes. These are just the basic general settings. The next thing that I do whenever I set up a WordPress website is I will go to my permalinks, and I can change permalinks because the permalinks tell me what type of URL I would have. And when I look at this permalink or this URL, what is my site going to look like when I write a new post? Well, for this one, day and name, I would have 2016 3/12, and then the post name, sample post, or whatever post name, whether it's a page or a post. because they're all posts. So I can set it to any one of these. I like what's considered pretty permalinks, and it actually is better for your search engine optimization to use this option. So I just go straight to post name. You could really inspect these other ones. If you like them, you can do it that way, but I just highly recommend that you use post name. And for this other stuff, we really not going to cover this because it's not completely necessary that we do, that we cover it, and it's not very helpful. So I'm just going to save changes here. So now I've updated all of my permalink structures as well. So if I go out to my blog and I click on sample page, because it comes with a sample page, now if I look at the top in the actual location bar, I see sample -page. So permalink structure is correct. Another thing under general settings that I check and I adjust personally would be reading. So we'll come back to this later, but you can change how your front page displays. You can change how many blog pages show at most. So you can say, okay, at most on the blog page, I want 10 is what it's set to initially, but I can set it to 3. And then for syndication feeds, I can change it to 3 as well. And syndication feeds are like RSS. You know, if somebody's subscribing to your blog, how many of your posts do you want to show up in the actual feed? And that's a little bit more in depth. So we'll just save this for now. And there's also this option right here at the bottom. We did save already, but you can say each article in the feed, you want it to contain full text or just a summary. I usually choose full text. And then there's the last option called search engine visibility. When I'm on a local development website, as we are on a local development website, I don't too much worry about it, but I'll set it to discourage search engines if I'm ready to deploy. And then I'll leave it at discourage search engines, because whenever I deploy, usually I'm pushing it to a live server that has been set up as a staging version of a server so that it's not completely live, but it is on a remote server for a client to see. So I'll click Save Changes here. In the rest of your settings, you can come through and just briefly read through some of this stuff. You can set your default post category, default post format. Standard is the best. The post formats, WordPress has really not decided what they're going to do with them, but we're not going to go into them because it's a little bit more in depth. Post categories, it's just a way to categorize your posts. Your initial website comes with only one category, and that's uncategorized. And you can set up also a POP3, an SMTP mail server so that you can post via email as well. But we're not going to go into any of that right now. I didn't change anything on this page, so I'm going to leave this here. And some of the other stuff we're going to go into later, like media. But this is where you can set those media sizes. But we'll talk about that a little bit more in depth in a further lesson. It is 10:10, and I'm going to look at what our next slide is and determine whether we're going to continue to go. Okay. Yes. Recommendations. After you set up your website via quick install, I highly recommend you go through every setting of your newly installed WordPress website. We're not going through every setting. We went through all of the general settings. And when you see terms you're not familiar with, make a note to Google them later. You do not need to look up all the terms immediately. The initial reading of your settings, like I said, it's similar to skimming a book and getting familiar with what the setup is. And it's going to help you begin the process and remove confusion you may have. So we're going to stop there. It is 10:11, and next week we'll be going through keys to getting it. And this is going to get a little bit more in depth and help you to understand more. For now, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and go back to the broadcast. And you may or may not have questions about some of the stuff that we covered today. If you do have questions, feel free to email me, varioussmith@gmail.com. It's my email account that you can email me at. Feel free to email me, and I'd love to hear you, various.smith@gmail.com. Or you can go to our website, inlandempirewp.com, and you can actually send us a contact email from the contact page. So we'd love to see you. Come to the Meetup group. There is a new one coming up next month. We're in the month of March. April is coming soon, and we would love to see you come out and be a part of the Inland Empire WordPress Meetup group. Thank you for joining this broadcast today. And if you have any further questions, do contact me, and connect with us on all of our social media accounts. Have a great day.